They say education is the key to success. It's the thing your parents badger you about from the moment you can hold a crayon, the thing that's supposed to open doors and unlock a brighter future. But what if I told you that, here in India, the system is designed not to educate, but to exploit? Look, education should be a right, a fundamental stepping stone for everyone, but instead, it's become a billion-dollar business. A business, I might add, that preys on the hopes and aspirations of millions of students and their families. Think about it. From the coaching institutes promising you the moon to private colleges, charging fees that would make your eyes water, the education industry in India is worth over 58,000 crores. So, are we truly learning, or are we just paying through the nose for a system rigged against us? Before we dive in, hit that like button and subscribe if you believe education should be about learning, not looting. Let's expose the truth. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we? The JEE and NEET exams. Every year, over 20 Locke students, bless their cotton socks, appear for NEET and nearly 12 Locke for JEE. These exams are treated like some kind of gladiatorial contest, with the winners promised a life of privilege and the losers, well, let's just say the pressure is on. But do you know how many actually get into top government colleges? Less than 5%. And you know who's laughing all the way to the bank? The coaching centers. These places are like the educational equivalent of those overpriced gyms that pop up in January. They prey on your insecurity and charge you an arm and a leg for the privilege. We're talking 2 to 5 Locke per student with the promise of 100% success. Now, I'm no mathematician, but even I know those numbers don't add up. In reality, only a tiny, minuscule fraction of students make it to the hallowed halls of the IITs and AIMs. And the rest? Well, they're left with the sinking feeling that they weren't quite good enough and a mountain of debt to boot. But hey, at least the coaching centers are happy, right? But it's not just about the money, is it? It's the emotional cost. The pressure these exams put on young people is immense. We're talking stress, anxiety, depression, and in the most tragic cases, even suicide. Is this really what we want for our children? A system that chews them up and spits them out, leaving them emotionally drained and financially crippled? Look, I'm all for hard work and striving for excellence, but there's a difference between healthy competition and this pressure cooker environment. We need to ask ourselves, is this really the path to success, or are we sacrificing the well-being of an entire generation on the altar of these exams? And don't even get me started on the black market that thrives around these exams. Cheating scandals, leaked papers, people paying exorbitant sums for a guaranteed spot. It makes you wonder if the entire system is rotten to its core. So you've run the gauntlet of the entrance exams, dodged a few existential crises along the way, and managed to snag yourself a college seat. Congratulations! But before you break out the celebratory biryani, let's talk about the next hurdle, the fee structure. Did you know that a private medical college in India can charge up to 1 crore for an MBBS seat? You heard me right, 1 crore. And engineering isn't exactly cheap either, with fees ranging from 10 to 25 Locke. Now, I'm all for a good investment, but this is starting to look less like education and more like extortion. And what do you get for this king's ransom, you ask? Well, many colleges dangle the promise of 100% placements like a carrot on a stick. But here's the kicker. Once students graduate, they often struggle to find jobs that even remotely match their qualifications or, let's be honest, their expectations. It's a classic bait and switch, really. Parents, desperate for their children to have a secure future, sell land, take out loans, and empty their life savings, all in the hopes of securing a good education and a stable job. But is a degree really a guarantee for success anymore? Or is it just another well-crafted illusion, sold to us by institutions more interested in profit margins than producing well-rounded graduates? Let's be clear, education is a fundamental right, not a luxury commodity. But somewhere along the line, we've allowed it to become a business, with colleges operating more like corporations than institutions of learning. And who suffers the most? The students, of course, saddled with debt and disillusionment, left wondering if that shiny degree was worth the exorbitant price tag. Chapter 3. The harsh reality. Who controls the system? Let's be honest, shall we? The education system in India isn't broken. It's working exactly as intended. It's a system designed to benefit the few at the expense of the many. And it's time we called it out for what it is. Who controls the education system? Well, it's not the teachers, who are often overworked and underpaid. It's certainly not the students, who are treated more like customers than learners. No, my friends, the real power lies in the hands of the elite. We're talking businessmen who own coaching centers, raking in profits from desperate students. We're talking politicians who own universities, using them as cash cows and personal fiefdoms. And let's not forget the banks, always eager to hand out student loans with interest rates that would make a loan shark blush. It's a vicious cycle, designed to trap the middle class in a never-ending spiral of debt and aspiration. They want you to believe that the only path to success is through their narrow, overpriced system. Don't get a good rank? Failure. Can't afford a fancy private college? Failure. Dare to question the system? You guessed it, failure. And here's the worst part. If you don't play by their rules, society is all too quick to label you as a failure. You're made to feel like you're not good enough, not smart enough, not worthy of success. But let me tell you something. Your worth isn't determined by an entrance exam, a college degree, or the opinions of those who benefit from this broken system. Chapter 4. The Solution, How to Break Free. So, the system is rigged. The odds are stacked against us. What are we supposed to do? Lie down and accept our fate? Become another cog in the machine? I say, absolutely not. If the system is broken, it's time we build a new one that actually works for everyone, not just the privileged few. First things first, we need to shift our focus from degrees to skills. Look, I'm not saying a degree is worthless, but in today's rapidly changing world, it's not enough. We need to equip ourselves with the skills that employers actually want. Coding, digital marketing, finance, entrepreneurship, the kind of practical skills that can help you build a career, not just a resume. And while we're at it, let's broaden our horizons beyond the narrow confines of JEE and NEET. Engineering and medicine are fantastic fields, but they're not the only paths to success. There's a whole world of opportunities out there: entrepreneurship, freelancing, the stock market, the creative arts. The possibilities are endless if you're willing to look beyond the conventional. But here's the thing, we can't do it alone. We need systemic change, and that requires us to raise our voices and demand better from our leaders. Education should be a right, not a privilege. The government needs to step in and regulate these exorbitant fees, provide affordable and accessible education for all, and invest in vocational training and skill development programs. Look, I know it sounds like a daunting task. This system has been in place for decades, and real change won't happen overnight. But we owe it to ourselves, to our children, and to the future of this country to fight for a better education system. Outro: Reclaiming Education. So, what do you think? Is education a business or a stepping stone to success? Let's discuss in the comments. Share your experiences, your frustrations, your hopes for the future of education in India. Because here's the thing, we have the power to change things. We can demand better from our institutions, support innovative education initiatives, and empower ourselves and our children with the skills and knowledge they need to thrive in the 21st century. And if you believe, like I do, that change is needed, then share this video with every student, every parent, every educator you know. Let's expose the truth together and work towards creating an education system that truly empowers future generations.